I think the pledge is really important because institutions have got to recognise the diversity of their student body, and that not all students are coming from the same background, have the same family circumstances, and the pledge therefore helps ensure that universities are thinking about that, making sure that they're putting in the right plans and the right thinking and the right processes to make sure that students who are estranged are supported and able to engage in higher education as much as possible.
It's important for us to remove the barriers to success for estranged students.
I think it's really important to remove the barriers to success because the university sector is under lots of scrutiny about the types of students it brings into higher education and what happens to those students when they're there, their ability to stay the course and to succeed once they have finished. And so it's really important that universities do everything they can to support all sorts of different students, and this pledge will enable them to do that in the case of estranged students, to think about those processes and what they can put in place, because I think otherwise they will be doing themselves a disservice, that they will not be having students who will be getting through the course and succeeding after the course, rating their courses really highly, all of these sorts of things that will be I think critical for universities to do. And on top of that, it's just the right thing. It's something that is necessary and that those students need support, and universities should be doing what they can to provide that.
What resources and support would you like to see available to estranged students in the next 5 years?
I think that there's a whole host of things that can be done. I think there's making sure, first of all, that there's information and advice and guidance is there is really important. One of the key things about estranged students is, by definition, they don't necessarily have the family structure around them that other students do. And we know that so many students rely on their families for advice and for help, and to help navigate the complex world of higher education, to know what to do. And so if you don't have that support network, if you're not able to rely on that, then you're going to need high quality information, advice and guidance provided either by the institution or because peer networks have been set up, or whatever the mechanism is that allows people to get that help and that support. I think we also need to recognise that, again, that the nature of estrangement means that you won't necessarily be able to go home in the summer or during the other vacations, and so it's about making sure that some sort of provision is put in place to make sure that those students have somewhere to stay. Unlike care leavers, for example, who can get support from the local authority to make sure that they have accommodation, that isn't true of estranged students, not necessarily anyway. And so we need to make sure that they have that support, and they have that not only in terms of the actual room, but to make sure they've got the money to pay for the rent as well, or that they don't have to pay rent, as the case may be. And I think it's also a sort of shift in both the understanding of academic staff to make sure that they are taking into account estrangement and what that might mean in terms of how people engage with their learning, and any adjustments that might need to be made, but also things like student unions and other parts of the institution who are doing extracurricular activities, again, just need to be aware of the issues that estrangement throws up, and what they can do to help make sure that estranged students are able to engage with university life as much as possible.
Could you tell me a little bit more about NUS's policy regarding estranged students?
NUS has been working on the issue of estranged students for about a decade now, coming up for, and it's something obviously that we are really passionate about and want to make sure that estranged students are supported and able to succeed, as we do, of course, want all students to do that. And we're really proud to work with Standalone and on this issue, and to make sure that we're doing that. One of the big things that we're keen to do, we've focused a lot on student finance and making sure that the processes for Student Finance England and Student Finance Wales are as strong as they can be and easy as they can be for estranged students, that the evidence requirements are as limited as possible, and that that they're able to navigate the system as quickly as they can. And I think we've made some great strides, not least with the help that Standalone has given as well. And but I think we need to now move to a slightly broader focus, because student finance offers only one part of the puzzle, to making sure that institutions are doing everything they can to make the estranged students feel able to engage in their learning and engage in their courses and get the most out of university. So I think there'll be a bigger focus coming up on things like peer mentoring and support groups, and making sure information, advice and guidance is available.
What would you say to a staff member or some member of staff in higher education who was only now experiencing and dealing with estranged students? What words of encouragement or advice would you give them in terms of being able to navigate their role in a way that they can help estranged students?
I think part of the thing is just there is lots of information out there now. That wasn't always the case, and it's a relatively recent thing. But you can now get information about estrangement and what it means and what you might have to consider. Obviously, Standalone's website's got a whole host of resources on there which are really useful and really worthwhile looking at. There's also a topic briefing from the Office of Fair Access, which looks at estrangement, so what impacts that might have in terms of thinking about access and retention. And again, that's a really worthwhile document to look at. So it's a case of go out and look, I think, for what's out there and what's available in terms of the information, and also find out from the exchange student what they want, because obviously everyone's different, and so what will be right for one student will be different for another, and it will just be a case of talking to them, which is a fairly obvious statement, but I think it's worth saying, and also making sure that you find out what's going on within the institution itself, because hopefully with this pledge that will spark lots of activity in plenty of universities. There's already lots going on, so again, just help signpost the student where necessary to other sources of help and support that might be existing in the university.
Thank you so much, David.